Hello everyone, welcome to another episode from Ampro Engineering. I've got something very cool to cover in this episode. Check this out. This is the RocHobby Type 82 Kubelwagen. I believe it is pronounced. I cannot say that I'm up completely on my German. This was a German military vehicle, and its underpinnings are quite similar to an early Volkswagen Beetle. This is a 1/12th scale vehicle from RocHobby. RocHobby, Easy RC, FMS, the whole lot of them have been just turning out just magnificence left and right. And I suspect that this is going to be no different. Let's go ahead and just briefly look at what we have here. I haven't watched too much stuff on this vehicle on other people's channels, mainly because I wanted to be surprised. Here we can just pause for a moment if you're interested and see what's actually going on the vehicle. And I'm going to slide this out, take a look at this case. Now, RocHobby has been doing this quite often with their vehicles. The same is true of FMS. I wish all manufacturers did this. Simply put, this is a storage box. This is not just packaging. This is where you can put your car when you're transporting it or when you're not using it. Opening it up, we have, oh my gosh, look at this little guy here. This is, holy cow. I mean, honestly, upon first inspection, this looks nothing like an RC car. It looks like a 1/12 scale static model kit. This is ridiculous. Look at that thing. In here we have this radio. I've got a number of these RocHobby and FMS cars with this radio. I happen to adore it. First off, it fits in my hand just perfectly. Secondly, the way that they've molded in these little patterns, okay, and you see all that here, it just gives the effect of a high quality, costly radio. It doesn't look cheap. It doesn't feel cheap. There's no idiotic soft touch on here, which is going to turn to jelly in 3 years. It is very, very full function. I believe this is 4 channels. We've got some additional dip switches here, which if it behaves like its cousin, the Suzuki Jimny, will do a number of things with respect to its throttle response. We've also got charger and a couple of tools. First things first, my initial feelings on this car are... I am speechless on this thing. I really am. This is, I can only hope that Tamiya is scared out of their mind right now. That's it, right? Companies like RC 4-wheel drive that create scale off-road vehicles. I mean, look at this. Just look at this. This is effectively a model kit. Look at the interior. I apologize, I'm not very familiar with the military version of this car, but I'm assuming that down here what we have is some kind of a, on the real car, some kind of a wood floorboard to help keep the moisture off of the shoes of the infantrymen. I don't know if that on the actual vehicle there's some kind of drain area in the car, I'm assuming. Flipping it over, good God. Look at those little drive shafts on the trailing arms. Look at this. That is incredible. I was assuming it was going to have the swing arm like the Sand Scorcher, which I think is just awful, even though it's accurate to the car. But look at that. At the front, we've got what is effectively Volkswagen Beetle front suspension. But notice the little drive shaft. This guy is 4-wheel drive. Man, that's incredible. Look how clean this is. Look at the underbelly. Skid plate here at the rear. Opening doors, right? Wait, oh my God, is there? There's no way that's a working door latch. So check this out. See this door handle? I mean, are you joking? That is the level of detail that they went to. I would have been blown away if it just sat like this, static. The door handles work? That is psychotic. Oh my gosh, that is, and then they slide back up. That is, what's under here? some kind of storage area. Does this fold down? It does fold down. Quite similar to the Jimny in that folds down like the real vehicle. Wait. These aren't plastic. No, my God. These are not plastic. Just everybody pause for a moment. These are not plastic. This is fabric. That is madness. Now this is what I'm intrigued by right here. Let's open this up and see what we got back here. Are we all prepared for this? Everybody ready? Got your popcorn? Wow. It's actually got wiring back there for the car, which I kind of like because it gives it a more realistic look. My God. And look, it's not even just up here. It's under here too. This is madness. This is madness. Here at the front, the windshield is held in place with these clips, like on the real car. So a little bit of force there. I mean, when I say a little bit, I mean a tiny bit, just pushing back. Pulling these up. Apparently, it's possible that this little clip will hit the door. So just give it a little bit of pressure, and then it'll slide right back up and seemingly latch on that screw head right there. Yeah, right there. My God, look how tiny and dainty the little wipers are. The mirrors can be adjusted, I would assume. Yeah. At the front, the instructions say to grab the wheel and give it a little bit of force up. Here we go. The hood is not hinged, apparently. Yeah. Here we have typical affair for the FMS EZRC RocHobby cars. Here is our battery. A little bit of a nook there. I'm sorry, what am I seeing here? I've got to power this thing up and see what's going on. The battery plugged in and charged up. Stuff that back in here. Probably should have run this underneath, but I'm too anxious here, people. Put that back in. I'm gonna be careful because there is a nighttime running light. It's one of the air raid lights that is powered right here. The servo is so quiet. Oh my God. Did you see that? That's just ridiculous. I was looking for the power switch, couldn't find it anywhere. Well, it turns out, this is just ridiculous. Now, I have big hands, so I'm gonna have to use a tool of some sort. Watch this. I'll show you the lights there. See that button on the dash? You see that? Power. I mean, come on. That's insane. Before I turn the lights on and make the car drive around, I just want to take a look at this instruction manual because this is, so far, the best instruction manual I've ever seen from this manufacturer, okay? Moving through this here, there's some precautions, basic information about it. But here, it actually dives into details, not necessarily about RC-related things, but about the model. I mean, it's actually going into detail about what everything's called, what it is. Here at the rear. But check this out. Look at this. It actually goes into detail about what every component on the molded plastic engine is. Look over here. How many people today are going to be like, clutch pedal? I wonder what that is. I mean, look over here. There's stuff here that I have absolutely no idea what the heck it is. Like, I forgot that that was a wiper motor. Seen those on old Jeeps. Directional turn. Direction signal switch. Look at that, the fuse block. I mean, look at all this stuff. They didn't have to do that. Here it does into detail about what all the functionality is on the radio. They actually do go into depth about what 12 does also. That's those dip switches. I also noticed here, 23, 24, and 25 are 3 ports here on the receiver. And it's actually going to tell you 23 is a signal switch, 24 is power plus, and 25 is power negative. So if you did want to add something else, you have basically a pin-out diagram right there. Here are the settings for the ESC. So we've got forward, reverse brake versus forward and reverse. You can set the battery type, even though this does have a lithium polymer battery, and then the drag brake over here. We even have an entire diagram just for lighting. I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. But the last thing, they also provided a supplemental document here. Additional information on the model, showing you've got 30 millimeters of suspension initially, and it can compress only 5 millimeters. That's interesting. It seemed like more. A little about section here. And yeah, it's been redacted for some reason. For those of you who don't know, that you will commonly find things like this in documentation by the military or the government. If they release paperwork but don't want you to see certain things like someone's name or cities, they'll just redact it. But it's simply quite amusing that they've done this on the manual too. Going forward, no lights, reverse. Oh, we have brake lights. My God. Look how dainty these little things are. Looking at our instruction manual, let's figure out how the lights work. So it looks like we'll be using channel 4 right there to set the lights. Pressing it once will put everything in the off position. So I guess right now it's in the off position. Pressing it again will turn on the headlights. Taillights are on. They claim there's a turn signal at the rear. Oh, holy crap. There's 2 LEDs in there. That's an orange LED. How big are these? These have got to be smaller than 3 millimeters. Let's see if the brake works. It's hard to see, but it is working. Yeah, I'm not seeing any front signals anymore, which makes sense. To setting 3, I think that got brighter. Okay, so that's high brightness. 4th setting will keep the headlights on. However, it appears that this light, oh my God, it is on. Look at this right here. Look at that. I would have assumed that the headlights would be off and that would be on. Oh, it's got hazards going on. Pressing it a 5th time. Except that's on. There it is. Okay, that's cool. So that is on. You still have signals and brake. So in the event of a lights out, you can still run that. Oh my God. How bright is that? It's about as bright as you expected. Not very. But we keep going. We'll click it one more time. Shuts it all off. On and high beams. And yeah, it's, you know, it looks scale. Looking at the remote again for a second. Just a side note, this RX battery, that's telling you how charged the car's battery is. Super cool feature. Channel 3, here's what that does. Okay, so right now, what we are in is high speed. And of course, I'm on my desk, so that's not going to be going very fast. That is 4-wheel drive. Popping it in the center, I believe puts it in a medium speed. And finally, in the lowest setting would be channel 1. Again, 4-wheel drive, extremely slow. Anybody who's seen me drive knows that this is just about how fast I drive in real life. So let's just try and get up that little lip right there. Wait. What just happened there? Hang on a second. Is there a differential? This has a differential. Does the front have a diff? Not as good for off-road, but definitely a lot better for, I guess, more scale-appropriate driving. I wasn't very surprised to see this thing has a diff. If you think a 3-speed transmission is interesting, allow me to introduce you another option on this transmission, and that is 2-wheel drive. To do that, we press and hold channel 4, and you'll hear the servo. There it goes. Now, we can lift the rear of the vehicle. Now we have 2-wheel drive. Yeah, I think I need to drive this now. smells of urine. I have driven this thing a lot. It's been at the office going on a month right now, and it's been driven nearly every single day for 2 battery packs per day. With that said, it really has outperformed my expectations. It is very slow. It has very limited ground clearance. The fact that it has open differentials limits its off-road ability. But with all that said, it runs like you would expect a Kubelwagen to actually run. I think these things had something like 18 horsepower, perhaps even less. So the fact that it's slow is nothing more than being scale. The little details like the opening doors, all the different lighting, this little blackout lighting, the taillights, the fact that the belt on the alternator, or probably in this case here, generator, actually moves. It's this attention to detail on this car that has made me just fall for it. I would probably not call it an RC car though. It's probably best to label this as a motorized model. The details on this thing are exquisite, and its performance, though outstanding for what it is, if you're looking for something like you're used to in terms of the vast majority of RC cars, this may miss the mark. If you're a military guy, you've got some tanks, this thing here is a 100% must-have. Price-wise, I think it's reasonable. You can find these on Amazon. There's a link in the description for them. They're definitely not inexpensive, but nothing on this thing screams inexpensive. This remote here is not only quality made, but incredibly full function, easy to use, and feels very good for hour upon hour of use of the vehicle. The cosmetics on this thing are worth every cent, even in terms of things that you're not going to see. On top of that, all of you did see what off-road this thing was doing, and there's not even a scratch on it. Even though it doesn't have much ground clearance, it has adequate ground clearance for something of this size to drive somewhere very scale. The fact that it has open diffs, again, is very unfortunate, but 98% of the time, I didn't care. I ran the thing in two-wheel drive on hard pavement, and a differential made the thing perform much, much better. I hope that this video did point out the highs and the lows of this vehicle, as well as the optimal operation of it, to make you better understand whether or not you do want this car. I am certainly in love with this little thing and look forward to quite a few modifications. Really, the only talking point here that I don't like about it is that I wish they would not have made the Kubelwagen and instead would have made the Volkswagen thing. I'm not a fan of wartime memorabilia. I am a fan of the 1970s. Perhaps we'll see an iteration of that in the future. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you found it to be very informative. Please subscribe if you do like my content. Very, very few of you are subscribed according to the analytics, and it really helps to have more subscribers to this channel. Lots more content to come, and we will see you next time.